Hi everyone, welcome to Stellaris. Oh man, I'm so excited to get this game going. The reviews are in, it's fantastic. I've played maybe just a little bit, just kind of poked around, made a race here, the Holy Rothak Empire. We're not going to play as them, but just kind of playing around, checking out some of the character creation, and a little bit of the new early game stuff. And we're going to make a new race, I think. Create a new empire. We'll just go down the list. So I don't really know what I want to do for this campaign here. I need to think about... the visuals don't really matter, right, for your race. Let's do these guys. I actually kind of think kind of the floaty eyeball guys. I think that's kind of cool. I don't really want to pick a name for them. Well, you know what? Let's in the old 4X tradition for this channel, we will do the Tristanians. And then the pro be Tristani. And then Tristanians. There we go. So here we go. We have the floating eyeball Tristanians. Sounds good to me. And this is the name lists. Okay, so this is going to be a list of basically everything that our leaders can be called, planets, fleets, and ships can be called. So we picked a molluscoid. So do we want leader names like Saglor, Glorum, Baglushk, the crescent waves, the wind, the deep sea, the river, the tidal, the reef? These are fleets here. Slimath Voidfarers, Gullface Voidfarers. I really like the names down here for the fleets. Ships are ridiculous, planets are ridiculous, leaders are ridiculous. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Molluscoid 2. Mostly because the fleet names look really cool. All having to do with water and ocean, which is awesome. Okay, racial traits. This is going to be a mostly blind playthrough, by the way. I know just almost nothing. I have tried to avoid wikis, and I've watched a little bit of Paradox actually play through the early game, and I've watched a few YouTubers play a little bit, but by and large, I have made sure that I have not been playing or not been consuming content because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So let's see. Ooh, rapid breeders. That could be cool. Let's add rapid breeders. Okay, so how does this work? Yeah. I can pick 4 and each one takes a point. So that's going to take 1 away because that's a good thing. So I need to actually perhaps take a green. Slow learners leader experience gain is slower. I think that's fine. Army damage minus nomadic is migration time and resettlement cost. I don't really know much about migration or resettlement. Solitary minus 5% happiness. Ethics divergence. Yeah, I think that has to do with as you create a larger and larger empire, you can have different groups of factions kind of rise up and have different ethics than you. Leader lifespan, stringly long. And these are the ones I can't take because they're the opposite of what I've taken already. Energy credits, food plus food might be good. Actually, I think that is pretty good. So I breed real fast and I make extra food. So I'm going to grow any planet that I move to, I'm going to grow very quickly, and I'm not going to need as much food. But my leaders gain experience a bit slower, which I think is fine, and I don't need that extra trait there. I do hope some mods come out eventually, though, that maybe add some 0-point traits. Just that aren't maybe like that that both add something and take away something at the same time, maybe. We will see. This is your starting ruler. I guess that your ruler is going to change over time. Oh, color variants. Just 4? Okay, we'll go with the red shade. I think we'll randomize the name to Tulanga. There we go. Okay, I like Tulanga. Homeworld name is going to be Ogo in the Wanjog in the Wanjog system. Homeworld name Ogo. Starting solar system Sol or Deneb. We're gonna do random. And this is your starting world type. Starting world type. So these guys are probably gonna be like ocean. Arctic could be cool. I don't think that your starting preference matters, other than, so I do know that the further you are along this circle, the like from your starting point, the better. So ocean worlds are good for me. If I start on ocean worlds are good for me. Continental and Arctic are okay. Tropical and tundra not so good, and then desert and arid are bad. Same thing, we start here. The Arctic, ocean, and tundra are okay. Continental and arid not that good. Tropical, desert bad. Do I want a cold world? These don't really look like cold world creatures. They do look like aquatic ocean creatures, though. So we'll do that. Ocean preference. Yeah, so there you go. Ocean habitability 80%. Continental and Arctic 60. Tropical and tundra 20. It's going to be hard to remember, but climate preference is determined by at the genetic level by eons of evolution or skillful manipulation. Okay, that's fine. What our appearance looks like. So this would be the default, but I don't like the look of that. I kind of like the look of this. Maybe even that. That actually looks kind of cool too. We'll go with that. Okay, government and ethics. So here's your government over here, and here's your ethics, or kind of what your people believe as a whole. Spiritualist, collectivist, xenophile, pacifist, materialist, individualist, xenophobe, and militarist. And then these are extremes of some of these, or of each of these. I don't really know. I don't want to do slavery, at least in this campaign. This campaign is going to be just kind of a learning campaign for me to explore the systems. So if that's the case, maybe do militarist. Army damage goes up. Population modifier, war happiness, so they're happy if I go to war, perhaps? Looks like these orange versions, these fanatics, are just more extreme versions. 5 to 10 happiness here. Slavery tolerance 50 to 100, yeah. We could do a xenophile. There exists in all of us a deep-sealed fascination for the unknown, an adventurous spirit that rejects the familiar and glories in the unfamiliar, whatever or whomever it may be. So this may help us make alliances with other races. Don't want to do pacifist for sure. Materialist is extra science output. That could be really useful as well. I got one more point. I could do one more green. Individualist gets extra energy credits, but extra energy divergence and lower slave tolerance, which honestly is fine. I don't plan on doing any enslaving this game. So an individualist, materialist, xenophile culture? I can't take ones that are across from each other. So I can't be materialist and spiritualist. Maybe I do spiritualist instead for extra happiness. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what happiness gets you yet, other than maybe perhaps faster working. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Let's do materialist and xenophile. So we like other aliens. We are a materialist culture, and that helps us with science output. Maybe we are fanatic materialists. Let's do it that way. Extra 10%. Yeah, okay. So my government types, I can't take out these grade ones because it depends on your selections over here. So I can do a indirect democracy. We hold elections every 5 years. Leader skill levels get +1. I don't know if they start at +1 or they can gain 1 higher. But it costs 10% less to recruit. An oligarchy, Energy credits +5, materials +5. That might be pretty good. This government is a plutocratic form of an oligarchy ruled by the wealthy elite. A citizen's personal wealth translates directly into political power. That does make sense for fanatic materialists. The more money you have, basically, the more elite in the society you are, I guess. A despotic empire. I bet everybody can be this. Militaries can build an oversized military station. Building cost goes down, but that's slave output I don't care about. Despotic hegemony, or hegemony. Each ruler can build an elite assault army. Research speed 5, survey speed +10. I don't know about survey speed. Eventually you do run out of planets to survey, right? So that's perhaps not something that would be good. I mean, it'd be good at the beginning, but in the long run, it would not be. Science Directorate, you get 1+1 research alternatives, and your leader capacity goes up. Direct democracy. The government is a materialistic form of democracy, where citizens use computer networks to vote directly on most matters regarding the state. +2 core sector planets, so I think that means that you can have more planets in your direct control. I actually think I like the plutocratic oligarchy. Extra energy credits, and then extra materials. Let's go with that. Empire name? No, I cannot randomize the empire name. So we're going to do the... I guess this is going to be the big thing that shows up. Yeah, so let's take a look at our government and ethics. Again, we love other alien species, and we love materialistic things. So let's be the... Tristanian. I'm trying to think of a cool word for this. Let's just do the Tristanian Empire so we're not sitting at the screen forever. I could definitely take a long time doing this, but... Tristanians. But I don't want to spend too much time here. Get to pick our flag. I like that symbol. That's kind of cool. Let's go with this. Primary color. I think your primary color affects the color of your big circle in the game. Let's do something that's kind of pleasing to the eyes. So that's pretty pleasing. That's pretty pleasing looking. I do like that. Okay, we'll go with that. And the secondary color can be... Nah. If it was like a pure white color, that'd be nice. That's not too bad. Let's do that. Starting weapons. So projectile weapons, missile weapons, and energy weapons. I do believe you can develop the other weapon types as you go through research, but this just determines your starting type. Choose through shields with ease. Limited in range. Excellent range, vulnerable to interception. Efficient at medium range. Ignores enemy armor. Wow. So let's do missiles. Yeah, let's do missiles. Yeah. FTL method. 3 different kinds. I bet there's going to be mods for more. If you've watched my Star Ruler 2 series, they have like, I think 5 or 6 different methods. All of them are different, and they play different, and it's fantastic. So I bet we're going to have more here. Wormhole travel is, I think, you can go anywhere in like an area, but you always have to return to the wormhole station. You have to build more hyperspace travel. You travel along lanes. And then warp travel, you can pretty much go anywhere. It just takes time. Allows for free but relatively slow travel between stars given the great distances. I do like hyperspace travel, but only if everybody else had it. So I think I maybe just do regular old warp travel. And then ship appearance, I am doing musculoid ships, so that does kind of make sense, I think. So there we go. Here's a Tristanian Empire, our logo, and what we look like. We like ocean worlds, warp travel, nuclear weapons or nuclear missiles. Xenophile, I love alien races, other alien races. But we are fanatic materialists. All we care about is the physical. And that gives us some extra science. We are rapid breeders with agrarian tendencies, but we have slow learning leaders. Let's save it. We'll go back. So one thing that I do want to point out, this is super cool, is I made this race before, the Holy Rothak Empire. These guys are fanatic xenophiles, so they love other aliens, but they're pacifists as well. So they want nothing but alliances and friendship with everyone. And you have this button over here where this empire is allowed to spawn as an AI in your world. And I'm going to click this once, and this is going to force the Holy Rothak Empire to appear somewhere in my world. So I think that's super cool. I love that idea. So another race that I've made in the past is for sure going to show up in my game when I play as the Tristanian Empire. So I've locked them in. I'm going to select them. Let's actually do a small galaxy, I think. We will leave it elliptical. Let's do spirals. 2 spiral arm galaxy. Milky Way's, I think, yeah, it's a 4 spiral arm, so, you know, maybe a little bit similar, and then let's do 15 AI empires, and let's maybe do 5. Nah, let's do 3. Let's stick with 3 advanced stars. Leave it on normal. Any FTO method allowed. Iron Man, I don't really know what this does other than, I'm sure like the last Paradox games, you can't save scum, which I'm not going to do anyway, so that doesn't matter. Alright, cool. Let's dive right in. And here we are. In the eons since the first primitive Tristanians communities took shape in the archipelagos and lagoons on Ago, our civilization has spread and prospered. As scientific knowledge increased and new outposts were founded across our world, trade flourished and tied the various nation-states together until they became a single entity. Power rested with the merchant princes and true architects of our achievements as the power rested with the merchant princes, the true architects of our achievement as a civilization. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Tristanian Empire have finished development of the first warp drives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp.
Chief Executive. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence. Corporate headquarters recently activated me so that I may serve as your assistant in our continuing mission to seek new interstellar markets.
Right, you can change the tutorial level at any time during the settings. I want to do Tell Me Everything, I think, just so that you and I can learn together. If you don't know anything about this game, you should get it, because it's really good. Everything that I've seen is really fantastic. But it's pretty complicated, right? So we need to know how to play, so let's say Tell Me Everything.
Decision. You will have my full support.
Excellent.
Building a star empire can be a daunting task. To help get things started, I will be providing instructional missions that cover the basic steps necessary to establish ourselves as a successful interstellar power.
The first mission is to fully survey our home system. I have added it as an entry to the situation log. To access it, click on the situation log button in the left section of the top bar or press F5. Okay, got it. So this is our situation log.
It displays a list of all currently available special projects and various other points of interest. New items will likely appear as we begin exploring the galaxy.
This sounds like Anthony Howell. That is who that sounds like. I actually have to find this out now. Stellaris, Anthony Howell. It doesn't say exactly. It's not popping up right away. It certainly could be him. Okay, we need to fully explore our home system before venturing out into the galaxy. To do this, select our science ship, either by clicking on the ship itself, or by selecting the vessel in the outliner. Then click the survey button in the fleet maintenance, or in the fleet interface, and select a non-surveyed planet near your home world. Your science ship will now plot a course and survey all planetary bodies within the system. Alright, so we can see our ships over here. The game is paused right now. You hit space to pause and unpause. Let's select our science
This is
ship.
our science ship, which is used to survey astronomical objects such as planets in a star system. A planet needs to be surveyed in order to make its resources visible.
To put it to work, simply right-click on a not yet surveyed planetary body and select Survey System. The ship will then travel between all objects in the system and survey each in turn. Surveying other planets may also uncover ones that are habitable and ripe for future colonization. So if I zoom in, looks like here is my science ship. It has a scientist in it, Ridubus, and he's carefree, so he can research anomalies 35% faster. Currently in orbit around Ugo. Okay, cool. I love how when you zoom in, like there's different sounds. Here's our home planet. Here's
This is
Ugo.
our homeworld and the
Oh,
capital of our empire. The planet summary screen, which we are currently looking at, provides an overview of the planet's important statistics.
among other things, we can see the total number of tiles right here, planet size, how many pops are living on it, which is going to be 7, and how much food it produces, which is going to be 4. If the planet has a governor, they can also be found here. So here's our governor, Governor Wadogs. Plus 2% happiness, construction time minus 5%, clear blocker time minus 6, slave, mineral, and food output. So cool. I like it. I like that it has rings. That's super cool. Can I rotate around? It doesn't look like I can rotate around the planet. Oh. Oh yeah, he's already said this. Okay. So now I can rotate around. Sweet. Oh, cool. I like how when you get on the backside there, right, you have the cities that are lighting up. Very cool. So it looks like while we did perhaps start and mostly live in the ocean, we have colonized the land as well. Just so you know, also as my playstyle is, I very much roleplay. I love roleplaying. I love storytelling, especially emergent storytelling in games like this. So I am going to be roleplaying, so...
The government screen presents us with information regarding our empire and its government. Here we can see our ruler and any related effects.
Separate tabs give a detailed overview of our budget, any policies that have been enacted, and information on the demographics of our nation. So yes, I am going to be role-playing, very much so, Xenophile and Fanatic Materialist. So it's all about research, it's all about knowledge, and we want to know and learn and befriend every alien out there. Here's our actual ruler. This is the guy that we picked, Tulanga. Can I change that? Doesn't look like I can change it. We will have another election in 40 years, looks like. Our actual executive here. Oh, is it because he's an executive, right? Because he's a wealthy, so it's like almost a business. Okay. So he is an investor, so we get plus 10% energy credits, which is up here. Energy credits is an energy-backed currency accepted by all spacefaring races. That sure is handy. You can gain more energy by building or upgrading power plants on the surfaces or using construction ships to build mining stations. And he's also an expansionist, so frontier outpost build costs minus 15%. This leader's aim to expand their borders, reducing the seed planet and seed frontier outpost war domain cost. That's not exactly what it says in the actual expansionist frontier outpost build cost minus 15%. So I don't know if that's maybe like an error in tooltips or if it also does that. We're going to have to see. Naval capacity is 12. I have 3 ships. We'll find those in a bit. Edict costs are default. Okay, so
the
let's...
technology screen is where we will be directing our research efforts. Technologies are categorized into 3 different fields, with each field typically having 3 available research options.
Right, that makes sense. This is obviously the first bit's going to be very tutorial heavy, but as we go, that's going to get less and less and less. So we can assign research technologies without assigning a scientist to the relevant field, but it will take significantly longer and generally not recommended. Well, we already have 3 scientists here, so it doesn't really matter. Let's close that for now. Let's go to the situation log. Right, we're gonna select our science ship here. We're gonna right click. No. Oh, that's our home planet. So that's already been surveyed. So science ship. Let's just go to the start. Let's survey the system. Cool, and the path has been laid out. Very cool. So if we hit space to unpause, we'll hit plus to kind of speed up. And oops.
To overcome the vast
Oh,
distances that separate star systems, our scientists have developed the warp drive. Ships equipped with this device can travel between systems at velocities exceeding that of light speed.
although ships can warp to any system within range, warp drives can be activated outside, or can only be activated outside the gravity well of the star. Ships coming out of warp also require time to power up their systems again. The length of this process depends on how far the ship has traveled. Okay, so what that means is that if this science ship wants to leave the system, he can't just like warp from where he is. He actually has to fly to the edge and then warp out. It also means that if he goes a really long distance, it takes a long time for the cooldown for his system for his ship to kind of rest before he can start making actions. Okay. So he should fly down. Let's hit Q. Yeah, it follows him. Very cool.
Researching new technologies will be critical to our success. I tell you this not merely as a product of unfettered technological progress, but as your trusted advisor and, I suspect, your only true friend.
Aw, thanks, buddy. One important technology that we should research as soon as possible is the New Worlds Protocol. It will give us access to colony ships, which will allow us to establish footholds on other planets. So we've got another situation log. Research. We need to research new technologies. The New Worlds Protocol will enable us to construct colony ships. We should focus on that as soon as possible if we are to expand our empire. Access the technology screen by clicking on the button, or by pressing F6, then click on Select Research. So here are our 3 research buttons. If we ever don't have research, it looks like these are going to come up. Very similar to other Paradox games where they have kind of a tab system where anything really important will pop up here. Click on Technology. Right, we know that. We have our 3 scientists here. Wet Groom. Can we rename these guys?
The Leaders tab lets us hire, dismiss, and assign idle governors, scientists, admirals, and generals.
Looks like we can rename. And you know, that's actually a really cool thing. Looks like you can actually rename almost everybody. Can't rename this guy? No. Let's see, what about the star? You can rename stars. Planets. You can rename planets.
This is our construction ship, which is used to construct space stations.
Oh, whoops. Okay, well, that's all right. We'll go back to that. All right, so let's go ahead and pick a research. So research works a little differently. There's no tree, no giant tech tree where you're locked into choices. Instead, things are weighted, and you get options as things pop up. So right now for my physics, I have deflectors, quantum theory, or orbital energy conversion. So here, this guy gets a research speed of plus 10% whenever he's doing field manipulation study. This is a field manipulation, so we would get deflectors quickly. It looks like deflectors are shields of some kind. Energy deflector screens can stop a limited amount of incoming enemy fire before overloading. Main drawback is that they consume large amounts of power. Then I'll also get planetary fortification toughness plus 20%. I guess that's a passive that will just be on all the time. I can make small, medium, and large deflectors, and that'll cost 240 research, so 24 months. Looks like everything's 24 months. Orbital energy conversion is a solar panel network. I don't really know what this means. Advances in solar panel technology could potentially reduce the operating costs of our spaceports. The panels would require an energy spaceport module to generate enough energy. So I'd put a module on a space station, I guess, spaceport, and then that would give me credits. Got it. Okay. Or a physics lab, which I guess I build on a planet, and then that gets me the blue, the green, and the yellow, which are physics research. Yeah, so this would get me to blue, which is the blue physics research, 1 green, which is society, and 1 engineering. I think I want to go with a solar panel network. This basically lets me So how good is this? So I'm guessing I have a spaceport on my home planet, on my home system. I'm not gonna worry about that too much right now. Deflector seems pretty good. Let's start there. Plus, it's a benefit. It's a field manipulation, so that's good for him. This scientist, Woolglam, he's an expert in New Worlds, so I get extra speed on New Worlds research. Look at that, New Worlds protocol. That's the thing we need to research. Naval capacity, which is this number here, up by 10%. Farming subsidies. This is an edict, which, if other games are any indication, an edict is something I can turn on for a little while. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. Last for 10 years and an extra 25% food. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Planetary edicts are temporary planetary modifiers, so they're on a planet level and not a galactic level, or a global level, or galactic level. Spend influence to get them, and this unlocks Hydroponic Farm 2. So I'm going to do colony ships because colonizing new worlds is, of course, amazing. And let's look at Dagoth. He is a rocketry expert. So look at that, fusion missiles. These updated space-to-space missiles have more powerful fusion warheads and improved flight performance. Small, medium, and large. And it looks like each one of these, yeah, it touches just the damage. I could do mining network +2. So over here, this had food +2, or food hydroponics 2. This is mining network 2, just a stronger, I guess, mining network to get minerals. That could be really good. Mineral storage capacity. So these do have storage capacity. 2,500 for credits, 5,000 for minerals, 1,000 for influence. Unlocks building engineering facility. So this is similar to the physics project we had, which just gives me extra research. I think I'm going to do fusion missiles. I want to come off strong pretty early. Again, I am xenophile, so my goal is not to go to war with other races. But if they bring something against me, I gotta be prepared. So, there's my research. What do I need to do for this goal here? New Worlds Protocol research. So that's gonna take 360, 34 months. Because I get plus 12% speed. Okay, makes sense. So this guy here, our science ship, is still... I've been paused, by the way. I'll be doing that less and less as time goes on, but for now, at the beginning, I need to make sure that I am learning as much as I can. Looks like he surveyed the home system. There was nothing there, which is a shame. He's surveying this asteroid. Also nothing there. Also a shame. He's going to find something soon. I know it. There we go. Cool. So asteroid 425 NY1K has minerals and +2 minerals. And if I build a mining station in the orbit of this planet, I can acquire them. Cool. I think I'm going to take a break here. I've got the very basics of the game going, starting to explore my home system and have the amazing Tristanians, the floating eyeball guys, all set up. In the next episode, I'm obviously going to keep exploring, working on the tutorial, but that's going to do it for this episode. I think I'm going to do 2 episodes a day, at least for the first few days or maybe weeks, just because I'm so excited to play and I want to get this content out to you guys as soon as possible. Hope you're having a fantastic time. If you do, please hit that like button down below. It helps me out a ton, helps grow the channel, and helps other people who are interested in playing and learning about Stellaris find these videos as well. Let's do this. Since everything can be renamed, if you want a planet, a scientist, a governor, a planet, if you want anything in this game named after you, please let me know, and we will name it. You don't have to name it after you. We'll name it anything you want to name it, within reason, of course. Don't talk to me about that. We'll learn about that later. But see, we can rename this fleet. We can name it. Rename this combat fleet. Rename science ships. We can rename science ships. There's so many things you can rename. If you want to rename anything in this game, please let me know, and we'll do it for you. Cool. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.